Wow, Cyberpunk 2077 really takes graphics on games to a next level with the implementation of ray tracing and DLSS. And today in this video, we will be building an awesome gaming PC to play Cyberpunk 2077 the way it has to be played with RTX and DLSS enabled. Hey guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to my channel. So as I've told you just now, I'm back with an awesome gaming PC build video guys, and this is our first PC build of 2021, right? And I'm like super excited. That's why I wanted to go like complete all out and build an overkill gaming PC. I'll be using all top notch, most powerful products from different brands, and it'll be hell lot of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy this video. And for this project, guys, I'm using the big daddy of all GPUs, the GeForce RTX 3090 from Inno3D. It's their iChill X4 variant. And let me tell you guys, all the other parts are also super awesome. So you guys know, right, these GeForce 30 series cards are second gen ray tracing cards and are based on Ampere architecture, and these cards offer like ultimate gaming experience in these brand new game titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Fortnite, and a lot of other games, and that too with ray tracing and DLSS enabled. You guys know what ray tracing and DLSS is, right? See, ray tracing tries to offer you like realistic lighting solution in games such that it makes a game look much more realistic and lifelike. And if you talk about DLSS, well, DLSS stands for deep learning and super sampling, and to put it in simple words guys, DLSS like greatly boosts your frame rates, and not only that, it also tries to restore the lost image information. So guys, in this video what I'll do is I'll give you a complete demo like what happens when you enable ray tracing, like what's the difference that is actually happening in the gameplay, like how does it produce those super realistic lighting solutions, how does it scatter light in the game to make it much more lifelike, and not only that, we'll also check out ray tracing shadows and how ambient occlusion adds depth and realism in the game. Not just that, along with that, we'll also check out DLSS as well, like how much performance gains you get in the FPS and what kind of effect does it has on the image quality. So this is what we'll be doing in today's video guys. Keeping that aside, now let me quickly tell you about all the parts that I'll be using. As I've told you just now, the GPU that I'll be using is the big daddy of all GPUs. This one is from Inno3D. It's their iChill X4 variant. See, iChill X4 is like their most powerful top of the line product from Inno3D that actually offers 4 fans on it. Like apart from the usual triple fan layout, it's got a tiny fan, a special fan at the top side of the GPU to cool the MOSFET area of the GPU guys. That is pretty cool, right? And also it has a beautiful RGB layout on the iChill logo that is completely customizable using a software as well and can be synced with your motherboard. And not only that guys, the special part about the GPU is, see, most of the heavyweight GPUs when you install them in your PC, over time they bend and sag guys, later damaging your motherboard. To prevent that, what Inno3D has done is they are giving you a free GPU stand along with the GPU. So when you fix this on top of the GPU, it holds the GPU straight and prevents this problem from occurring. Very useful thing guys. And if you talk about the specs, see, 3090 comes with 24 gigs of VRAM, that too super fast GDDR6X memory. Not to worry, I'll leave links for this GPU, the GeForce RTX 3090 from Inno3D iChill X4 variant, in the description box below. You can check it out from there. So that was about the GPU. And if you talk about the CPU, as I've mentioned before, we are using the most powerful Ryzen 9 5950X. It's a 16-core, 32-thread monster CPU with a base clock frequency of 3.4 GHz and a max boost clock frequencies of up to 4.9 GHz. This is a literal monster, guys. You'll be getting to check out the performance at a later part in the video. And if you talk about the motherboard, see, we've already unboxed the ROG Dark Hero a couple of days ago, right? That only I'll be using for this build. This is the top of the line X570 chipset and offers some pretty nice features. And if you talk about the RAM I'm using is also special. This is from G.Skill. This is the Trident Z Royal, and that too I'm going with 64 GB RAM guys. That means I'm using 4 16 GB RAM, 16 4 is 64. We're maxing out the RAM on this motherboard. All of them are clocked at 3600 MHz. And what else is left? Oh yes, let me tell you about the cooler. So the cooler and cabinet are special. These are from Lianli. I'm using Lianli's Galahad 360 AIO liquid cooler, that too in silver and white edition guys. It's a beautiful looking cooler. And if you talk about the case I'm using is Lianli's O11 Dynamic XL ROG certified case. Both of these are white edition, so we are going with a sort of black and white theme for this PC guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna look really awesome and beautiful. So these are the parts. Lastly, I forgot to mention about the power supply. I'm using a 1000 watt 80 plus fully modular power supply from Antec. It's their high current gamer series edition. So these are all the components that I'll be using for today's PC build, guys. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Wow, looks class, right? It's a black and white themed gaming PC. I actually wanted to use the silver edition RAMs, but unfortunately I only had the gold ones available. Anyways, let's power it on and see how this monster looks like. Holy moly, now that is what I call awesome. Just look at those beautiful RGB components. Starting off with the case, Lian Li's O11 Dynamic XL is a massive full tower case that offers stunning view from every angle possible. It's got tempered glass panels on the front as well as the side, and even has an addressable RGB LED strip on the front that is fully customizable with just a click of a button. And instead of mounting the AIO's radiator at the top, I've moved it to the side of the cabinet at the last moment, and damn, that has greatly improved the overall look. I mean, just check out that Lian Li's AIO, the Galahad 360 White Edition. What a beauty, guys. And what should I say about the RAM? The Trident Zero Oil. They're a pure bliss to your eyes. And get a load of that GPU from Inno3D, the iChill X4. It's a massive block of adrenaline boost for your PC. Love the design. So guys, just have a look at these beautiful RGB shots, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, time to jump into the benchmarks. So today we'll be playing Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk is the hottest game title right now, and also a very graphic intensive game that supports both ray tracing as well as DLSS. We'll be doing this whole test at 1440p resolution to really push the system to its limits. And talking about the graphics, see, whenever you're playing such Nvidia GeForce aligned games, to get the best possible results and gain competitive edge over the other players, always make sure to apply the GeForce recommended optimal settings before starting the game. So just sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and I hope you enjoy the content. Oh my god, holy smokes, are you guys looking at those graphics in the game? Looks awesome, right? Cyberpunk is a really stunning game with next gen ray tracing graphics. I know it can be a bit buggy sometimes, but let me tell you, the recent hotfixes and patches has made the overall gaming experience much better than before. Have a look at the frame rates. We were easily getting an average of around 68 to 70 FPS at 1440p max graphics with ray tracing set to psycho settings and DLSS was set to auto. Turn off ray tracing and the frame rate will shoot over 150 FPS. But let me tell you, ray tracing is the real deal, guys. As mentioned earlier, ray tracing produces realistic lighting effects by simulating the actual behavior of the light. To put it in simple words, it actually traces the path of light that it would take if it were to travel from the viewer's point of view in that particular scene. So in this game, you got three different types of ray tracing options available: ray tracing reflections, shadows, and lighting. Let me first tell you about the ray trace reflections. When you enable this option, you get realistic, accurate, and dynamic reflections, notable mostly on mirror-like surfaces, glass windows, or chrome-like surfaces. See, screen space reflections does a good job, I wouldn't deny that, but it often leaves something that is yet to be desired to make it feel lifelike, and that is where ray tracing kicks in. RTX tries to fix that and adds a whole new level of dimension, resulting in an artifact-free and accurate reflections over shiny or glossy surfaces. Just have a look at these examples so you'll get an idea on how the game looks like when RTX is on versus RTX off. The first clip here is with ray tracing reflections set to off. Have a look at those reflections on the glass surface. Whatever that is being reflected on the surface is inaccurate and unidentifiable. That means there is detail missing, environmental detail is also not there, and basically you can't make out what that thing is. But check out what happens when you turn ray tracing on. Now that is a kind of difference ray tracing can offer. There's a night and day difference over here. Turning RTX on fixes all those problems and produces artifact-free and proper reflections as they should occur on shiny surfaces. This makes the overall game feel very realistic and adds a whole new level of depth in the gameplay. Let me just put these scenes side by side and show you the difference. Now you can clearly see the difference, right? Like what's happening when you turn ray tracing on and when it's off. Let's have a look at more examples in different scenarios. As usual in the first clip, RTX is off. Just observe the reflections on the car, especially on the window glasses. Looks plain and no reflections, right? But when you switch on RTX, boom, massive difference that is immediately visible. Just look at those reflections of the billboard. Pretty awesome, right? I have to say RTX greatly enhances the overall graphics. Here's one more demo for ray trace reflections. Look at the glass on the window. There's nothing on it, just looks plain. But with RTX enabled, this is how it looks like. Feels very realistic, right? Come on, you just can't sit there without appreciating how good the game looks with ray tracing on. I hope you all got a clear idea on how much difference ray trace reflections can bring when you turn them on in the game. Now let's also check out the difference, like what happens when ray traced ambient occlusion and shadows are turned on. Ambient occlusion gives a sense of depth in the game, especially in the shadows. In this particular scene, just look at those gaps and areas below the trash bags. Without ambient occlusion, everything looks so flat and simple, right? But once you turn it on, there's a whole lot of depth in that area. Similarly, in this next clip, you can observe the effect of global illumination and ray trace shadows. When RTX is off, you'll observe that the sunlight simply illuminates a particular object or a player. And even look at the shadows. The shadows casted by the sun look very harsh, right? But when RTX is enabled, the illumination feels more natural as the sunlight is bounced off objects and naturally blends in the environment. Even look at that tree's shadow now, looks a lot more natural and realistic. See, once you get used to playing with RTX enabled, I'm telling you right, it'll be very hard for you to go back to the normal graphics. Okay, as we saw just now, ray tracing definitely improves the overall gaming experience, but I have to mention, it takes a bit of toll on the performance, and that is where DLSS comes into play. DLSS stands for Deep Learning and Super Sampling. It's a kind of machine learning AI neural network that significantly boosts the frame rates by up to 60% or more depending on the resolution you're playing at, while rendering beautiful and sharp images without losing any image quality. Cyberpunk offers 5 different DLSS options which you can choose depending on the resolution you are playing the game at. Nvidia recommends using quality mode for 1440p resolution and performance mode for 4K and above. This will greatly help you attain a consistent smooth gaming experience. And not just that, DLSS also helps restore lost image information. For example, in this particular scene, check the text on that motel board. It's unreadable, right? You can't make out what's written over there. But as soon as you turn DLSS on, boom! Now you can clearly read the no tell motel sign. Not just that, observe carefully in the scene. DLSS also restores fine lines on the balconies, vents on the air conditioner units, and other different places as well. Keeping the visual changes aside, just have a look at the frame rate as well when DLSS is on and off. There's almost like 50 to 60% boost in the frame rates when DLSS is enabled. Well guys, I hope this helped you understand how much difference does 2nd gen ray tracing and DLSS bring with the new GeForce RTX 30 series GPUs. Time to wrap it up I believe. Let me just drop the price list of all the components used to build this machine. Just have a look at them so you'll get an idea on the pricing. So that's it for today. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more new awesome videos. And I'll see you all in my next one.